my name is Rob Harvey. I work here at the York Water Company as the Assistant Filter Plant Superintendent. You can see I'm standing here on top of our filter plant up at Reservoir Park, looking out kind of over York City. York Water, we were founded in 1816, and we've been serving York continuously since then. Now we're serving about 200,000 people in both the York and Adams County areas. Each day we treat about 20 million gallons of water from either the Codorus Creek or Lake Redmond. So what you can see here is kind of our operations command and control center. We have one console, but on this one console our operators can simultaneously read out and control our entire system. So this includes all 12 of our filters, all of the chemical feeds and valves at the filter plant, as well as the 30 tanks and 30 pumping stations we have in the system. So here at York Water, we do what is typically considered a conventional water treatment. So the water comes in from either Lake or Brohart, and we add a chemical to it called alum. And the goal for that is to reach what we would call charge neutralization. So your water isn't going to, the dirt's not going to settle out if we just let it sit. What we want is separation of the layers. We want all that sediment and whatnot to settle out from the water. So what we'll do, we'll add the alum and then we'll pass it through what we call our flocculators. So you can see how we have the slight spinning. The goal with this rotation is to give enough energy to allow the particles to kind of touch and get stuck together to build our flock particle, but not so much energy that it rips itself back apart. After that, we have our flock particle. We want to give it time to settle out. So you'll see it progress into our settled water basins where the flock forms and then settles out to the bottom. So some of the impacts that we directly see from non-source pollution mainly come from the increased sediment load that we get at the filter plant. So the more sediment that we get, the more chemical we have to feed, and it makes treatment much more difficult and expensive. And we can very clearly see this as soon as we get any sort of heavy rainfall in any of our watershed. I'm standing here behind our filter plant, so you can see some of our treatment facilities below us. But I'm standing in one of our more recent plantings. So this is part of what we call our 600 dividend grove, where we planted 600 trees up here at Reservoir Park. So planting trees and buffers is something that does a really good job of reducing these non-point source pollution problems. So here at the York Water Company, what we're doing is we're looking at various areas of our watershed that we can enhance these riparian zones to reduce that pollution and that runoff. One of the reasons why we're concerned about that is any sort of pollution impacts us here at the plant where we're treating the water. So an increase in fertilizers, for example, would increase the amount of algae in the water, which makes treatment harder. And when treatment is harder, it ends up costing more money for us to do it. And that cost eventually gets passed on to the customers that pay us rates. So by doing a lot of these proactive measures on the front end of our treatment, we actually will reduce our costs and save the customers money. So a lot of times people ask me what they can do to kind of help offset these non-point source pollution issues. So some of the major things is, one, just pay attention to what you're doing and what you're putting down the drain or pouring outside. If you're cleaning your car even, those storm drains run somewhere and they run to the creeks and to the rivers. So applying fertilizer and pesticides to your lawn and keeping your lawn mowed very short, those are two things that have a major impact on our watersheds. So even a simple task of just letting your lawn grow an extra inch before mowing, or just not applying that fertilizer, would make a huge impact. Other things would be cleaning out your storm drains, just keeping the area around your house maintained as far as the stormwater conveyance goes, and just paying attention and thinking about how your actions impact, as well as supporting local initiatives and businesses trying to make a difference.